Who this guy is? Stan the Man, right? Stan Lee. So Stan Lee is the creator of the Marvel Universe. Nothing in that universe exists that didn't come out of Stan Lee's mind. It's the very mind of Stan Lee. He is the creator. If you're a character in that universe, you will see shades of Stan Lee everywhere. You can get glimpses of his mind everywhere because his heart and soul is in that entire universe. It's what we call general revelation. However, no matter how hard one of these characters struggles to leave his universe and make contact with Stan Lee, it's impossible. They can never get off that two-dimensional plane and meet the creator. Nothing they can do to reach him. If Stan Lee is ever to have a conversation with his creation, the only way he can do it is to write a character into the Marvel Universe named Stan Lee. That character will be the very image of the creator. He'll speak his words. He'll think his thoughts. He'll do his actions. If you've seen him, you've seen the creator. You've seen the one who existed before the universe itself existed. Yet at the same time, that character still has to bend to the will of the actual creator. So, some people might say that explanation, my understanding, smacks of Arianism. Not this type of Arianism, but the one spelled with an I. That was the Nicene argument. But I don't care what it might be called. I care, does this square with Scripture? Does this make sense of Scripture? So we'll go to John's Gospel. Now I talk about Matthew as being the apostle who probably would have been a poli-sci or a business major. If John was in college, he would be a philosophy or theology major, and he probably would not go to class. He'd be on the lawn in sandals and playing frisbee, and he would probably be played by like Owen Wilson if they made a movie about the apostles. That's how I see John. He's the spiritual guy. So in John's Gospel, we'll see if this squares to this explanation. He says, in the beginning was the Word. Word's a pretty good translation. What it actually is logos. It's the logic. Somewhat of a Greek concept that before the world existed, or above the world, there's an overwhelming logic that just a symmetry, a beauty, a natural order to everything. Like even in this fallen state, we can all recognize that there's just an unbelievable balance in everything with nature and the universe, and everything is perfectly dialed. There's a logic behind everything. So in the beginning was the Word, or logic. And the Word was with God. So we have separation. And the Word was God. So we have it's the same thing. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. He was in the world, and the world was made through Him, yet the world did not know Him. He came to His own, and His own people did not receive Him. But to all who did receive Him, who believed in His name, He gave the right to become the children of God, who were born not of blood, nor the will of the flesh, nor the will of man, but of God. So do you guys perfectly understand all this now? Mm-hmm. Probably not perfectly, but how many people understand how this works? I don't have the slightest clue how this works either, but I know how to make it work. I know enough about it. I don't understand how words and sounds and pictures can be transmitted through the air by a piece of metal to another piece of metal. It makes no sense to me, but I know how to make this work for me. I know enough. You need to know about this whole incarnation. You need to know what works for you. But all who did receive Him, who believed in His name, He gave the right to become the children of God. That's what you need to know about the incarnation.